The Walleye, a busy week off ice, lots of player movement, but this is the only game of the week at home this evening, taking on the Atlanta Gladiators. And, you know, Joe Burrow looks a lot older when he's not in the football pads. Walleye taking on Atlanta, first period, facing former BG goalie Chris Snell. And Brady Tomlin to John Albert opens the scoring. Later in the first, Matthew Barry standing on the doorstep, slams it home, 2-0 lead for the home team. Move to the second period. Walleye on the power play. They take advantage. Did you hear it? Mitchell Hurd the goal. Brandon Hawkins getting his second assist of the night. And after the Gladiators get on the board late in the second, it's the captain coming through in the clutch. TJ Hensick, his third point of the night. It's a 4-1 lead. Game over, right? Well, sort of. Atlanta would get 2 goals in the third, but the Walleye add a late one, 5-3 your final. Caden Fulcher between the pipes, big down the stretch as the sellout crowd at the Huntington Center goes home happy.
Back here at the Huntington Center, Claire, this was a game that, you know, Toledo had a lot of advantages built into them because of the fact that we talked about this last weekend where they were the team that had to keep playing teams that weren't playing the night before. Well, they didn't play last night. Atlanta did, so they had that built-in energy to start the game, and it paid off with the early lead.
They didn't play, they didn't travel, they were at home, they were energized, and they had a little something to play for. Coming out on Sunday, getting shut out in the Huntington Center for the first time since 2018. They were ready to get some goals on the board, and they did that. They were up 2-0 after one. In the second period, things kind of got, I'm not going to say they got away from them, but Atlanta was kept alive with a goal. But then the third period, it was kind of anybody's ball game, which was something we weren't used to seeing, especially considering how strong they started in the first.
Well, and then you look into that third period, and we'll talk about Caden Fulcher in a moment, but the fact that each team had a 5-on-3, and the big difference in why this ended up being so close is Toledo didn't score on theirs. Atlanta did score on theirs, and that's what made this a 4-3 game all the way down to the end.
I mean, 6 penalties between the teams in the third period. There were a lot of kind of holding your breath while you were watching, just because at any given moment it could have gone either way. And like you said, Caden Fulcher, while they did get a 5-on-3 goal, he held so strong following that, and really their goal prior to that was kind of an unlucky bounce, if you will, where he thought he had it all tied up, it snuck through. Him being so strong in net is why they came out on top tonight.
Yeah, interesting that the fact he was the number 2 star tonight and a guy that only faced 6 shots in the first period. Toledo held on in the end. They get the empty netter to win it. 5-3 the final. Only game of the week for the Toledo Walleye. They'll go back to playing a little bit more coming up next week with 3 games all on the road. 2 in Cincinnati and 1 in Fort Wayne.